Hi everyone, I am now 2 months on testosterone, and so I wanted to make a video talking about the last 2 weeks of that. I have earlier videos talking about the time before that, so this video is just going to be focused on week 7 and week 8 of my testosterone journey. I want to talk about some of the changes, starting with the most noticeable change, which is my voice. I think my voice has gotten a lot deeper and it's actually becoming noticeable to other people. I actually saw a friend of mine for the first time in about a month and she asked me if I was sick because my voice is so much deeper than it usually is. To be honest, I wasn't looking forward to my voice dropping because my brother, who's cisgendered, has a really deep voice and I was a little bit scared that it wouldn't suit me to have a voice that deep. However, at the moment I'm really enjoying having a deeper voice and I'm excited to see where it goes. There was one other change that was quite noticeable, and that was my moustache. I've been growing it out since before testosterone, but I didn't think that it was noticeable to other people yet. However, about a week ago, I was in the car with my sister and she asked me if I was growing it out, and I cannot be having that. So I shaved it off about a week ago, and I was sad to shave it off. They say when a T-boy shaves his pube stash off, an angel loses their wings, and I definitely felt that. It was a bittersweet moment. But I say that it was bittersweet because at the same time, shaving in a masculine way was euphoric, and now I have a bit of stubble going on. It's very light, but it makes me feel euphoric to know that there's a bit of stubble happening. I honestly thought that my moustache would grow back really thick and really fast, and that has not been the case. It's been a week since I last shaved, and it's like there's nothing there, but I can feel it. On a similar note, I've noticed hair growth in other places as well. My upper legs and around my belly area definitely have more hair growing there. And I think the hair on my lower legs as well as my eyebrows is getting thicker, though I can't really prove that. I was looking at my eyebrows recently and they look thicker, but when I was looking at photos, they kind of look the same, so I can't tell if that's really happening or not. I'm not sure. Speaking of things getting thicker, my arm muscles have been getting much bigger? Speaking of things getting thicker, my arm muscles have been a lot more defined recently, and the muscles in my chest have been a lot firmer. I've been working out for years at this point. I do have muscle definition in my arms and in my chest. However, it's never quite been obvious and it's never been hard muscle up until recently because I apply my testosterone on my upper body, and so I'm quite frequently feeling this area of my body, and only very recently has it become really quite solid. With all of that, I have gained weight. I weighed myself a couple of days ago and I weighed 74 kilograms. I think when I started testosterone, I weighed around 70, so that's an increase of 4 kilos. To be honest with you, I thought that I would gain weight a lot quicker than I have. That's probably the number one thing I was expecting that didn't happen, is weight gain due to an increased appetite and increased strength in the gym. I haven't experienced that at all. Like, I don't feel hungrier, I don't feel stronger. It's still early days, but I'm really hoping that in the future that will pick up. Also, as an entirely separate note, I've now experienced an entire cycle on testosterone. I did experience a period between weeks 6 and 7, and the period that I had was later, lighter, and longer than I was expecting. So it was around 5 days later than I was expecting. It was at least 1 day longer than I was expecting, and the flow was a lot lighter than it typically is. It doesn't really bother me that much, but I am interested to see where it goes. Also, just to make sure I cover all the bases, I have experienced a little bit more BG. That's all I'll say about that. Okay, I think that that's all the physical changes that I've experienced in the past couple of weeks. It has definitely been a very eventful past couple of weeks for my transition, but not just in the physical way. I also have some other mental, emotional changes to talk about. The first thing is that I think I spoke about last time. I wanted to change my name prior to graduating university. However, I think I've given up on that idea. I really wanted to start university as a man and I didn't. I failed. But I thought I could finish university as a man, and to me, that looked like changing my name legally before graduation. However, if I want to achieve that goal, I need to change my name legally now. And at this point, I don't feel ready to do that. Part of me was really sad to be giving up on this milestone because I had made it so significant to me. However, I spoke to my friend Sky about it, and they said that the name change would be a cherry on top, but I still have the entire cake to enjoy because I have started transitioning prior to finishing uni. I am a man prior to finishing uni. I just don't have the name change yet, and that's okay. So I'm trying to take the pressure off of myself in terms of changing my name because honestly it was just becoming very stressful and I don't want my transition to be a negative thing, so I'm removing that factor. Another thing is that there has been a shift in my personal confidence. There's been someone in my life who has treated me and others very poorly, and previously I would just take it. I would accept that kind of treatment. However, recently this was happening and I actually stood up for myself. My camera's about to go flat, but long story short, I am demanding more respect from the people around me, and it is shocking, the people around me. Also, if you didn't notice, I hung up the flag. I'm feeling a lot more proud to be trans, and I hope that that just continues to grow because it feels amazing. Anyway, that is all the updates that I have from week 7 and week 8 of being on testosterone. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Hi, my name's Puck, and this is my voice. 1 day on testosterone. Or 5 minutes on testosterone. 1 minute on testosterone.
This is my voice, 6 weeks on T, but I am a bit sick.
Hi, this is my voice, 2 months on T.